Hello, good morning, students. Students, let's start reading the chapter number 4th, The Enemy, written by Paul S. Buck. Okay, kindly take this chapter very seriously. It is really a very important chapter of these old ones, and I think you will surely obey my words. Okay, let's start. First of all, I would like to give you here some synopsis, important facts concerning to this topic. Kindly listen to my voice very carefully. Dear students, the chapter which we are going to start at this moment really is a very meaningful, highly educative and inspiring one, because we know it very well. Humanity is the greatest religion. So we should consider it on our parts that the theme of this chapter lies in humanity. Okay? Humanity, which is represented by, which is represented by a famous doctor, well-known doctor, highly expert doctor, Japanese doctor, whose name is Dr. Sadao Hoki. बेटे, Dr. Sadao Hoki was really highly talented person. When he found an American soldier outside the main door of his house, outside the main gate or outside the door of the main gate of his house, he found himself in big dilemma. D-I-L-E-M-M-A. Dilemma means dvida. He thought whether he should save the life of the wounded man or he should hand him over to the police, to the army. Since he had really got his true education, he had really got his training in the course of medicine, in the field of medicine, by some expert professor, and that the professor had told him that if he could save the life of a person, he must save. Obeying the words of his professor, Dr. Sadao Hoki sought his humanity above, much higher than the sense of his patriotism. Patriotism. He was a true patriot also. He was a true patriot also. Okay? He did not want to cheat. He did not want to go against the protocol of his country. That's why he also reported the same case to the general, chief of the army, General Takima, chief of the army, when he had already treated the man. So in this chapter we will be learning about so many qualities of a true human, right from the beginning till the end. The author, Paul S. Buck, who has written this the chapter during the Second World War. When the Second World War was going on, Paul S. Buck wrote this the chapter, getting some characters from Japan, and the real hero of this chapter is Dr. Sadao Hoki. The side hero of this chapter is his wife Hana. And the entire chapter revolves around this the escaped prisoner of war also. So bete, let's start reading. Since the chapter is really a very lengthy chapter, it runs into 18 to 20 pages, I think so. That's why it will take a longer time compared to the other ones, for its completion. No matter. Okay, let's start. Okay, the enemy Pearl's Buck, the chapter number 4, entitled with these two words, The Enemy, written by Paul S. Buck. Before you read, the author tells us that before you start reading the chapter, you should go through these the statements which are the parts of this the outline section of the story. This is known as the outline section of the story, outer part of the story. It is the time of the World War. An American prisoner of war is washed ashore in a dying state and is found at the doorstep of a Japanese doctor. Should he save him as a doctor or hand him over to the army as a patriot? It is the time of the World War. When the story is written, the World War was going on. Okay? At that time when the World War, Second World War had started, had broken out, and both the countries, America and Japan, had also stood against each other. They were also fighting in that Second World War. Okay? So it was the time of the World War. An American prisoner of war stands for a captured soldier, whether a captured soldier or a voluntarily surrendered soldier, military person, military man. So here this the man is a captured person. Okay, escaped. We may also call him an escaped military soldier, military man. An American prisoner of war is washed ashore in a dying state. Through this statement, it is told to us that an American escaped military man, military soldier, who worked in Navy, who was a sailor. I would the story will help us know about it later. So that the American prisoner of war is washed, okay, is washed by the cruel waves of the sea water, and he is brought down at the seashore. Ashore stands for the seashore. Okay, the seashore. Ashore is an adverb and shore is a noun. Okay, ashore is an adverb, just like coast, outer part. Okay, ashore. The word ashore also represents here, beta. Okay, the last part of the sea. Okay, it means the coast of the sea. So we may also use the word coast here. In a dying state, this the American escaped prisoner of war is washed by the angry waters of the angry water. We may also use the waters, but you would not like to understand it. That's why I would like to use here the word water. But generally we can also use the word waters also, just like floods, waters, rains. Okay, these words can also be written by us, but in some different situation. When we collect water from different resources, okay, and when there are so many resources of water and all the resources have opened, so then in that case we can use the word waters. Okay, but here I would like to use here the word simply, the single one word, water. So that the American prisoner, okay, who was in a very unconscious state of mind, he was in a dying state. Dying state stands for he was really unconscious, and his overall condition was very bad. He was about to meet his death. So in that perilous condition, he was, okay, now I am giving the explanation in past tense. He was washed by the angry water of the sea and brought down there at the sea coastal area, and is found at the doorstep of a Japanese doctor, beta. So this the American prisoner of war, okay, was now I would like to give the explanation in past tense. Was also found at the main doorsill. Doorstep means doorsill. Outside the main gate. Outside the main gate of a Japanese doctor's house. Of a Japanese doctor's house. Should he save him? When the doctor found him outside the main gate of his house, and when he went very near to him and checked his condition, so he thought that the man was really in a very serious condition, and it was his enemy since he was American. That's why he thought that he took a question in his mind, and that was a very problematic question for him. Should he save him as a doctor? Firstly, doctor thought whether he should save the life of the badly wounded American soldier or hand him over to the army as a patriot, or showing his honor, showing his loyalty, showing his honor and loyalty and devotion towards his country, whether he should hand him over to the army man, to the chief of the army, or to the army of his country. So such kinds of two questions struck into the mind of Dr. Sadao Hockey, and he found himself in really a great dilemma. DILEMMA means double minded. He was in he was really in a conflict of thoughts. He could not take the final decision very easily on his part. Dr. Sadao Hockey's house was built on a spot of the Japanese coast, where as a little boy he had often played. Dr. Sadao Hockey's house was built on a spot means on such a place of the Japanese coast, where as a little boy he had also played some games with his friends. Dr. Sadao Hockey's house was built on such a spot, on such a place, of the Japanese coast, where in the days of his childhood he had also often played with his friends. He had often played many games with his friends there. The word low represents here the height of the house was very low. It was not so high. It was low in height. Square stone house. Square stone means the house was made of square cut stones. Square cut stones, bete. And was set upon. Upon is a preposition. Upon means on the top of or on. So it was set upon means it was set on the. It was constructed on the. It was constructed on the upper part of the rocks, well above a narrow beach. You know it very well, the word beach. Beach stands for air. A kind of passage. Where one can see amount of small stones and sand also. Sandy area, stony and sandy area, very nearest to the sea coast, where a very little amount of water is also available, is also present. So just above a very narrow beach, Dr. Sadao Hockey's house was situated on the rocks, and it was made of square cut stones. The height of the house was very low. That was outlined with bent pines, beta. I have separated this the statement. I have put this the statement into different 3 to 4 sentences. But now I would like to give the accumulated explanation also, sentence also. That was outlined with bent pines. That was outlines. The word that is connected here with the word beach. That was outlined with bent pines. Outlined stands for here okay, that had the boundary wall, that had the boundary line with, okay, with the bent pines. There was a boundary line, there was a fencing of the tall pine trees also, tall pine trees also all around the narrow beach. Okay, along that narrow beach one could also see, along that narrow beach, in that coastal area, one could easily see the tall pine trees standing or growing, okay, around all around the beach side area, that the beach side area. The low square stone house was set upon rocks well above a narrow beach that was outlined with bent pines. The house of Dr. Sadao Hoki was low in its height. It was made of square cut stones, okay, and situated on the top of the rocks, just, okay, above a narrow beach that was outlined, means that was surrounded, that was fenced with the tall pine trees, which were also slightly, which had also slightly bent down, over that beach. As a boy, Sadao had climbed the pines, sporting himself on his bare feet, as he had seen men do in the South Seas when they climbed for coconuts. Since Dr. Sadao Hoki had already seen some people, some men, okay, climbing on the coconut trees grown in the South Seas, in order to collect the coconut fruits. So imitating the same men, Dr. Sadao Hoki, when he was a mere baby, when he was a boy, when he was in his little age, so Dr. Sadao Hoki had also climbed the pine trees, the pine trees, getting help of his bare feet, okay, without getting help of any ladder. No, getting help of his bare feet, he had climbed on those all pine trees. It was really so much difficult, okay, for the child, but since he had already seen the people, okay, he had already seen the people climbing on the coconut trees. Since at that time, when he cast a glance when he had looked at the people climbing on the coconut trees, people were already, okay, in progress, and they were climbing just before his eyesight, just when he was looking at them. So that's why I have put here the verb in gerundal, present participle form. Otherwise, here, as you can see here, after the verb seen, you can see here the first form, the main verb do. Okay. So now through this statement we have got one more idea. Dr. Sadao was really a determined child, confident person also. He was highly confident and determined child since the days of his childhood. So as a boy, Dr. Sadao Hoki had climbed all the pine trees which were already available there, okay, all around his house, all around the narrow beach, getting help of his bare feet, since he had already seen the people climbing the coconut trees, okay, in the South Seas, and he had already imitated them. Copied them, okay, and he had got success in his mission. His father had taken him often to the islands of those seas. Okay, oh, it was Dr. Sadao Hoki's father who used to take his son, who had already taken, or who used to take. I would like to, okay, I would like to give you here I would like to mention here the habit of Dr. Sadao Hoki's father. So it was Dr. Sadao Hoki's father who would, we can also use the modal would to, okay, highlight the habit, to show the habit of a person in the past. It was Dr. Sadao Hoki's father who would take him, or who used to take him very often to the islands of those seas, to the islands of those seas. Okay, and never had he failed to say to the little brave boy at his side. So whenever Dr. Sadao Hockey's father used to take him to the islands of those old seas, sailing the boat or sailing the boat there, he had never failed to say, he had never failed to mention it, before his child in the presence of his brave boy. Those islands yonder, the word yonder stands for better, something that is situated far away in a fixed direction. So pointing to those islands which were situated far away from that place where Dr. Sadao Hockey and his father used to stay. So right from that place and pointing to those all islands, Dr. Sadao Hockey's father used to tell him that the islands which he could see, very clearly, are the stepping stones to the future for Japan. So those the islands situated far away from there, would surely work as a means of progress. They would be the only places. Which would help the countrymen, which would help their country get progress, make progress. In other sense, we can also get the experience better while pointing to those far-ended islands, those islands which were situated at the far end or at a very distance away from there. Dr. Sadao Hockey's father used to tell him that those the islands would really work as a means of progress for their country. They would decide the future of their country. Where shall we step from them? Sadao had asked seriously. When Dr. Sadao Hockey got such kinds of wordings from his father, since he was a very willing listener and he was really highly determined and confident person, child from the days of his early childhood, he had asked very seriously his father. He had asked his father very seriously. Where they would like to step from those all islands. From which islands they would like to step the first. Who knows? His father had answered. In response, while replying a very important question raised by Dr. Sadao Hockey, his father used to tell him that it was totally unknown to each and everyone. Nobody could tell about it. Who can limit our future? He also told him that their future was totally limitless. They could extend the limit of their future, in an infinite time limit. There was no limit of their future. They could make their future, in such a way that could shape the future of their country, that could shape the future of their all countrymen in a very beautiful manner, in a very beautiful way. Who knows? His father had answered. While replying, Dr. Sadao Hockey's father had also answered him, saying it that it was totally unknown to each and everyone. And he also asked him he did not know. Nobody knew about it. Who knows means There was no one who could tell something about the future of the country. Who can limit our future? He also asked in his reply, he also asked his father, he also asked his son, who could limit their future. It was totally okay, unexpected fact that nobody could tell about the future of their country, and nobody could also stop, limit, okay, control the future of their country. It depends on what we make it. He also told his father that it all depended on the willingness, interests, attitude, okay, curiosity of their countrymen. If their countrymen wanted to, if all the people living in Japan wanted to, okay, give a very bright shape of a new future of their country, they could definitely shape it. It all depended on what the people of their country would like to give or would like to make the future of it. Of it means of their country. It depends on what we make it. Again, I would like to explain it. Through this statement, Dr. Sada Hoki's father told him that it largely depended on the willingness of the people, okay, of the people of their country. Of the people of their country means of the countrymen. If they worked quite honestly, if they worked hard quite honestly, the future of their country would be so bright. And they really worked. That's why Japan, okay, Japan has become now as the superpower, and it has also lagged behind so many other countries. Okay, bete. So now the next point, we have to read it. Sadao had taken this into his mind. Dr. Sadao was really a very intelligent person. That's why he had taken that the point, okay, into his mind. He had stored that the most important statement made by his father into his mind, as he did everything his father said. Since he always retained all the things in his mind, whatsoever he got from his father. His father, who never jogged or played with him, since his father was also very practical man, and he did not want to waste the time of his child in useless things. That's why his father, who never jogged or played with him, it was Dr. Sadao Hoki's father's habit that he never, okay, played or jogged with his son, but who spent infinite pains upon him. But who spent infinite pains means who had to work hard. Who had to work hard day and night, especially for shaping the future for the sake of his child's future, who was only son, since Dr. Sadao was his only son. Dr. Sadao Hoki was the only son of his father. That's why he had to work hard day and night, only and only for the sake of his child. He did not care for anything. He only cared for the future of his child. Sadao knew that his education was his father's chief concern. Dr. Sadao Hoki had also got it into his mind that his father was badly concerned regarding his education. That's why he also worked very hard. For this reason, he had been sent at 22 to America to learn all that could be learned of surgery and medicine. Thinking better that his son would really become a top class doctor if he was sent to America, his father took such kind of decision. And his father had sent him at the age of 22 to America to learn all that he could learn there in the field of surgery and medicine. It was the age of 22 when Dr. Sadao Hockey had been sent to America by his father to get his higher education and his education in the field of medicine. Since his father knew it very well that he could become a top class surgeon, doctor or scientist also getting education in America. That's why he sent him. For this reason, he had been sent at 22 to America to learn all that could be learned of surgery and medicine. He had come back at 30. Oh, a long span of 8 years. A long span of 8 years was spent by Dr. Sadao Hockey there in America while getting his education in the field of medicine. And before his father died, since he had spent there 8 years in America, he had come back at 30 when he had got his education, when he had completed his education in America. Okay, he came back to his country at the age of 30, and by the time his father died, he had seen Sadao become famous not only as a surgeon but as a scientist. But by the time Dr. Sadao Hockey, his father, took his last breath, he had seen his son, become famous, not only as a surgeon but as a scientist. And the desire of his father, the willingness or the dream of his father had been fully realized by him, had been fulfilled. He had come back at 30, and before his father died, he had seen Sadao become famous not only as a surgeon but as a scientist, because he was perfecting a discovery as a scientist. Since he had got his education in the field of medicine and he had become a top class surgeon, thereafter he continued searching for such kind of medicine so that he could become a such kind of medicine that would render wounds entirely clean. Because he was perfecting a discovery, Dr. Sadao Hockey had been involved in a discovery, and he had been fully engaged in making some kinds of experiments. He was perfecting a discovery. As a scientist, he was perfecting a discovery in order to find out such a medicine, in order to prepare such a medicine which would be able to render wounds, to cure wounds entirely clean. All the wounds could be cured, and all the wounds could be cured very instantly, quite instantly. Not a single trace of wound, could be left by that medicine. So he was trying to find out such kind of medicine. He had not been sent abroad with the troops. That's why it was the only reason. There were basically two reasons. The first, Dr. Sadao Hockey was making experiments, and he was trying to find it out on the basis of his long experiments, that he could be able to make such a medicine that could cure or wash all the wounds very clearly in one go. That's why he had not been sent abroad with the troops. Also he knew there was some slight danger that the old general might need an operation for a condition for which he was not being treated medically. Dr. Sadao Hockey also knew it very well that the surgeon chief of the army, might need an operation, since his condition was becoming bad to worse day by day, and at that time he was now being treated medically. He was being given only medicines, and he also knew it very well that the condition of the general, of the chief of the army could become bad to worse or worst also. That's why he reported each and everything to the journal, saying that if he wished so, he could go, okay, there at LOC, okay, at Sarhad, to pay his services there at the time, or to pay his services there in the Second World War. But journal did not want to send him for this possibility. Sada was being kept in Japan. For this possibility, when chief of the army came to know about it all, he did not want to take any kind of risk of his life, and he asked Dr. Sada Hoki that he would not go there. He would not go there, and he was not sent there with the other troops of the army to pay services there during the war hours. Okay. Clouds were rising from the ocean now. Oh, what a sight! Okay, what a very beautiful sight could be seen there over the sea water. Clouds were rising from the ocean now. Okay, clouds were rising from the ocean now. Now, the clouds of vapors, clouds of water could be seen there, rising very high in the sky, towards the sky, in the sky from the ocean. The unexpected warmth of the past few days had at night drawn heavy fog from the cold waves. It was the time of night hours, late evening hours, and the unexpected warmth of the day had already, okay, drawn heavy fog from the cold waves of the sea. Sada watched mists hide outlines a little island near the shore. Sada had also watched mists, the great sheet of mist that had hidden the part of that little island near the seashore also. There was one island very nearest to the seashore, and that the island had also been hidden. Okay, had also been hidden by the great sheet of that mist, and with come creeping up the beach below the house. Okay, at the same moment that the mist had also spread very high towards the house of Dr. Sada Hoki, covering the part of the beach, wreathing around the pines. The word wreathing stands for here, surrounding here, waving, covering, okay, covering or surrounding, spreading. We may get also the word spreading all around the pine trees. That the heavy mist had also spread all around the tall pine trees. In a few minutes, fog would be wrapped about the house too. Dr. Sada Hoki thought that the mist would also cover the part of their house also. Then he would go into the room where Hana, his wife, would be waiting for him with the two children. Okay, he would go into the room where Hana, his wife, since he was thinking so, and he also thought that he should go back, it was a part of his imagination, would. And while standing there, he thought that he should go into the room where Hana, his wife, would be waiting for him with the two children. And he was about to leave the place. To go into the house where his wife Hana was already present there with their two children, and he thought that she would be waiting for him, and he should not waste any more time standing there. So up to here we have read the chapter. The next part of this chapter will be discussed by us in the next lecture. Thank you. Kindly take the chapter very seriously.